AI can do many things. We know it can sort of make a house, not one that I'd live in, but it can make it. Now I wonder, can AI make a Minecraft farm? We need to find out if the farm works, or even if the build makes sense at all. We're going to use ChatGPT, and we're going to place the farms in my hardcore world. We're going to ask for 3 farms, and the first is a chicken farm. We're on ChatGPT, and I got the prompt at the bottom, give me instructions on how to build a chicken farm in Minecraft. Here are the instructions. Now we just got to follow all these, and let's see if it actually makes sense. It tells us to gather resources first, so we're just going to put them in this shulker box. We need wood, water, fences, hoppers, chests, redstone, and a dispenser. Step 2 says find a location, and I reckon this spot's good, just at the edge of the island. With building it, it says to use fences to create a small rectangle or a square. We're going to build a square, just a simple 3x3 in the inside, which should be plenty of space for chickens. Now it tells us to build a nesting area, and we need to just place several hoppers that lead into a chest where the chickens can lay eggs. And I reckon for what we can do is we just have a chest here, and then we'll just place hoppers along all of these blocks and make them go into the chest. So that's what I was thinking of, and anything should go straight to the chest. Now this is the first confusing part of it. It says I need to place a water source so that the chickens stay hydrated, even though that's not a feature at all in Minecraft. But we also need to make sure that the water is easily accessible, but not too deep to drown them. So we're just gonna have it in this corner here. We're gonna be placing a slab so it's not too deep. And there you go, there's the water. The chickens, they'll be hydrated now, and the farm is perfect. Now this part is also confusing. It says to add a dispenser outside of the fence, so just outside right here, and to fill it with seeds, not eggs, seeds. And the reason for this is if we connect this to a circuit and it dispenses seeds, the chickens will start to breed, even though, again, that's not how it works. I built the circuit. All we have to do is just flick this, and then it starts going, and then we fill up this dispenser with seeds, and there you go. We'll turn this off because no chickens are there, but that is the chicken farm pretty much done. Now it says to get chickens in there, and it says either to bring them in from the wild using seeds to lure them, or just use eggs to spawn them. And I got a few eggs, and I'm going to use them since there's not many chickens over here. 1 already. 3, 4, 5. 5, that's pretty good. And look, they're already going in the water, they're very hydrated. Now the rest of the steps don't really matter. 8 says you can automate it if you want. 9 says to just check on the chickens, make sure they're getting enough food and water. And 10 says you can expand it later on. Here I've checked up on the chickens, they're all grown. Now we just turn it on, and this should be making the farm go much better. There should be more chickens now, except there's not. This farm, I mean, it will work well, considering the chickens, all they're doing is laying eggs but going into the chest. But it doesn't make much sense, the farm, at all. So the farm works, but it doesn't make sense. The chickens could easily lay eggs on the sides, in the water, not getting into the hoppers. And there's water. There's water because the chickens need to be hydrated. So this farm doesn't make much sense, but it does work, so at least ChatGPT can do that. We got the chicken farm done, and we have 2 farms left. The next farm we're going to be asking AI to make is a snow farm. I think this one's going to be interesting because a snow farm should be small and simple to make, so it'll be interesting to see if it will be, if AI gives us our instructions, or they're going to take it further and it'll be a big mess. We're going to do the same thing and just ask ChatGPT if it can give us instructions on a snow farm. Like last time, it gave us 10 steps, and now we just got to go through these and follow them. From what I've read, the only thing we really need to get is glass because we already have water and a shovel, and we need to find a snow biome because we need it to snow, and we're not going to get any snow over here, unfortunately. Here we are, we're a couple 1,000 blocks away in a snow biome, and for the farm we need to just clear out an area first, and we're just going to clear out a 5x5. Nothing too big, I reckon this is fine. Then we need to create a water channel along one side of the cleared area. So we're going to have it along this side and we're just going to have water going across here. This is going to be used to transport water to convert snow layers into snow blocks, apparently. Now we need to just outline this with the glass. Now it says here if I wanted to build a roof, I could, but I don't really get why it's even saying that, because you'll find out in a few steps that doesn't make any sense, because it says to build a roof to stop natural weather patterns. Anyways, the next step is to place a water source at one end of the channel, just like this. Now this is the step. It says to wait for snowfall. That's how this farm works. We gotta wait for it to snow, and then we go here, and then next step it says to use a shovel to collect the snow. We can automate this if we really wanted with pistons and redstone, it says. And then the next two steps are just saying if you want you can expand it, make it better, and also just maintain it and check up on it. But this is ChatGPT Snow Farm. From what I read, this is how I interpreted it, and yeah, it's probably not the best thing. Let me just show you what an actual snow farm looks like. Here's an actual snow farm. This is what one looks like. I'm in a test world, and you just get a shovel, and you just mine, and you just get snow. Look how small this is. Look how small and simple that is. And then, look at this. And we have to wait for it to snow, and then we harvest it. Why don't we just harvest the rest of this if we're waiting for that? This farm works, sort of. I would not say it works that well, considering all you have to do. And it doesn't really make much sense, this farm. It says to use this water to convert snow layers into snow blocks, but I'm confused on how that works. So this farm does not work at all. It's just a mess. After that, we have one farm left. We've done chicken, snow, and now potato. We're back on ChatGPT, and after the last one, let's see if it can redeem itself. We just wrote, give us instructions on a potato farm. So now yet again, we just gotta follow all these, and hopefully it works well. We need some resources first, like some wood. We already have some water. We need a hoe, and I'm just gonna craft a diamond one since, why not? Lucky I had potatoes in the chest. I think we only got 4, but we can bone meal for some more. Then some bone meal, and some torches, and that's everything. I've chosen a location for step 2, which is just around next to my iron and tree farms. And now we need to just construct the farm. I'm gonna make it a rectangle. It says to make sure the area is enclosed, and I reckon, is this enclosed enough? Is it gonna make me build a wall up to stop mobs from getting in here? I added a layer of grass, so now it doesn't look as bad, and mobs can't get in here to trample it. We need to use the hoe on all of the blocks. Except we need water, but we've got to wait for that step. It says now to plant the potatoes, but that's probably not the greatest idea, because the next step, it says to add some water. We've got to place it strategically around here, so just in the middle is probably best. This is probably one of the first times we're going to use the optional one. We're going to use bone meal to just speed up the growth of the potatoes, so that way we can just place more around here. Still got some bone meal left, and we filled up the whole farm, except that part I just broke. Now we'll just add lighting around. We're just going to add a torch on each corner. At the end we can just harvest and replant it, but obviously we can't do that now. And then if we want to, for step 10, we just expand it and improve it. But I don't know what's left to improve. The farm already looks amazing. So this farm probably works the best out of any of the farms, mainly because it's not really redstone at all. It's just a simple potato farm. I didn't really say anything to do with redstone. It did say, optionally, I could have added some stuff with redstone. However, the farm is fine without it. It works. So ChatGPT can build a farm like this. And I thought it was going to be a mess of stuff, considering this high wall here. I thought it was going to look all weird, but it turned out okay. I mean, it still is strange, especially coming from this. You'd have no idea if you just look up it's a potato farm, but it's overall an alright farm. Well, throughout this video we found out that AI can sort of make a farm. It can't make a good farm. All of the farms it made definitely had some problems with it, and were a bit confusing to understand in certain sections, but it can make a farm, but I definitely would not use it again. So right now, it's not too good, but maybe one day, when ChatGPT is more advanced, it'll be able to build a Minecraft farm much better, and maybe even invent new farms. Or it won't prioritize Minecraft at all. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and I also reckon you'll like this one, where I build tree farms in this hardcore world.